I played at the club when we really didn't have any facilities at all, and it was a struggle, particularly during the winter, to find anywhere to train. But I think things have moved on substantially since then, and players are used to being treated a bit better than that. Even the youngsters, when you're talking about the development side of the game as well, they're used to better facilities. At the top level, absolutely, I think Derek McInnes would be very keen to ensure that he's got his own specific training facilities to make the all-round training experience better for him and the players, but also to entice new players to come to the club as well. I think it's always important when you can take a new player and show them around. You can show them around the stadium, you can explain what the club's all about, and just icing on the cake, I think, is the training facilities, because it is important. We don't have them, we haven't had them. We've had a couple of attempts at trying to make it better that have fallen through. So, yep, hopefully this time it happens and the club gets a facility and the community gets a facility that can be well used. Even small things like some of the players saying that they would like to stay on in training, practice free kicks or practice the goalies, practice certain things. They can't do that because the minibus is a way to go, and it's, as some of them say, it is very frustrating. Yeah, I think if you can go to a specific training compound and that you're there for the day. Take your car, you get there, you don't have to come to the club, you don't have to get stripped at the club and then the minibuses take you back and forth. You get there and you can spend the whole day there, and if the facilities are good enough, then I think it encourages players to do that. And the ones that want to do the extra training, it makes it much easier for them. And of course that helps, it just helps the quality of the game. If you can get more time with the ball, it's definitely beneficial to the game in general, and specifically to Aberdeen players. Plus, you've got to look around now, and Celtic have got their own training, Rangers, Hearts, Hibs. You want to be better than that, don't you? You want to be at least equal to these teams to give you a chance to compete. And training facilities are really important, and as I said before, they're really important for the development of the game as well, to ensure that you've got the proper facilities for young players to be able to come through and into the first team. So all round, I think it's something that we desperately need, something that I hope the club can put together. I hope they get the support from the community and everybody that makes the decisions as well, because it is a requirement that has been a requirement for a number of years. You mentioned what the club does in the community. The community trust's been on the go for a few years now, but it's been very successful, probably despite being slightly handicapped because it doesn't have its own facilities. There's so much more they can do. No, absolutely, and synthetic surfaces for communities is absolutely perfect, and that is definitely an area that can be well used, because you can basically use it. Well, you could use it 24 hours a day if you wanted to, if it was floodlit, but it wears well. It's not to the behest of the weather, as we've seen just today, where middle of August it's still pouring down in Aberdeen. These facilities, these new synthetic facilities are fabulous, and something that is required for community in particular. For the top level as well, when they can use it when the weather isn't good enough to play on grass. But from a community point of view, the fact that you can use it and use it and use it and use it, and it's quite happy to be used, and I think that type of surface is absolutely crucial for community. Just finally, the North East economy has not been in the best of health over the last few years. We're talking here about a multi-million pounds, upwards of 50 million private money, no public funds. It's surely what the economy needs at this time. Well, yeah, it's ambitious, that's for sure, and if the board can put that sort of a package together, then it's got to be applauded, and to do it without public money, I think is a very bold statement, but I think that the board that running the club just now have got quite a bit of experience behind them, and experience at raising funds. So I think something like that with private funding has got to be applauded, and hopefully it will see the light of day sooner rather than later.